At Sagura Chowk in Patna, a new statue is about to be unveiled, not of a freedom fighter or a political leader, but of a poor labourer. Dashat Manjhi's story is old but as moving in every retelling. To reach Dashat Manjhi's village in Gaya, you once had to walk almost 50 kilometers across treacherous rocky mountains. No government had ever made a road. Once when Manjhi's wife slipped on the rocks and broke her ankle, he decided he could wait no longer and single-handedly started chipping away at a 300 feet high hill. People thought he was mad, but 22 years later, Manjhi's tireless work had led to the impossible, a road through the mountains. Dashat Manjhi died 3 years ago. This statue will be a moving tribute. It's also just the sort of detailing that Nitish Kumar has a mastery of. In his first term, the star chief minister used culture effectively to evoke a sense of pride in Bihar. In his second term, despite a greater critique of his governance, what continues to work are similar strategies, a growing sense of optimism that is bringing many Biharis home.
In India Matters this week, we look at what happens when the Bihar story actually sustains itself. And we look at this story from the eyes of a few entrepreneurs who've returned to their homeland to be part of this striking change. And what could be a better place to start than Nalanda, a symbol of pride, patience, wisdom, and a place which once showed the way to thousands across the world.
When I was a kid, we would walk up to these stairs. Of course, today we had to take permission, etc. And you can't imagine how we would look at it, mesmerized. And now, again, I would say I'm like a kid working on Nalanda, trying to highlight in a similar fashion.
Naveen Sharma returned from the US to work for Bihar. With 4 friends, he launched a company called Prachin Bharat. Their first project, a multimedia museum for Nalanda, the famed university of the 5th century, which was already in the headlines as the chief minister had initiated plans to revive a university here, backed by a consortium of eminent members like Amartya Sen. 5 years later, a vice-chancellor has been appointed for this university, and Naveen Sharma's museum during tourist season runs to packed audiences. Off-season, it's a quieter time for renovations. The museum was entirely funded by Naveen's company, but the building was given by the government. At that time, it was in a dilapidated mess.
I think the difficulties start from anything to everything. Starting, let's say we had the bank here. The bank didn't even had the forms to open an account for a business firm. I mean, any simple thing like that, you go, there are no practice of any entrepreneurship or business. We have had now running the 4th year, so we have pages and pages of support, and this is what has kept us going.
Prachin Bharat now has a similar museum in Bodh Gaya, and a bus tour which travels to historical sites, has well-researched commentary and is the first of its kind in Bihar. The impact on the ground is showing in the figures. Tourism has gone up 50% in the past 3 years in just Nalanda itself. But it's when Naveen takes us to Telhara, 40 kilometers from Nalanda, that one is reminded of both the full glory and extent of the Magad Empire, as well as the rich potential for Bihar tourism in the future.
Even if you see the diary of Wensang or Itzing, this was mentioned along with the other 5 universities which made like a group, Nalanda, Telhara, Jagdala, Vikramshila and Udantpuri.
पहले इसमें जो हम लोग के जैसे चाचा जैसे घूमने आते थे बरसात के दिन में, तो पहले सिक्का उक्का भी मिलता था। और खुदाई होने पर यहाँ बहुत सारी मूर्तियाँ मिली है जो पूर्व के समय के बना हुआ है।
तो जो मूर्ति निकली वो कहाँ है?
मूर्ति है,
दिखाइए।
And people would come from all over the world.
This has to be a moment of utter serendipity.
Mahayana की शिक्षा.
Really bright. And,
I think this was also Mahayana. थेरावाद नहीं था.
Okay, so maybe it was Mahayana.
फिर एक बार यहाँ पूरा डेवलप हो जाएगा, तो आप लोग की तो काफी आशाएं होंगी अब.
बहुत आशाएं हैं. नजदीकी रहने के कारण बहुत आशाएं हैं.
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone, fastest scorecard, special analysis, and much more. Download free. ndtv.com/apps.